I've gotten fired once. I had a TV show with Shaq on TruTV called Upload, and I knew immediately I didn't vibe with one of the producers. And I'm not blaming the producer. I'm not blaming myself. It's just some people you don't vibe with. And I didn't vibe with him. And it was obvious. He didn't laugh at none of my jokes. When I was talking to him, it was like he was kind of like blowing me off a little bit. So I was just like, oh, whatever he envisioned the show, I wasn't a part of it. And it was funny because I went on Shaq's podcast back in January, and I not confronted him, I brought it up. I said, man, you got me fired. He said, no. Yeah, I know. I fired you because I knew the show sucked and we were about to get canceled. So I fired you before we got canceled. Do I believe that? No. But I didn't tell Shaq I didn't believe it, but I didn't believe it. I know why I got fired. It's because I wasn't vibing with the dude. I think that it's hard to take accountability for what you had to do when you got fired. It's easy to put the blame on somebody else, but part of that was probably the energy I was giving off to that producer in particular. So when the ratings came back and we weren't killing it in the ratings, we were okay. I was like, oh, they had an excuse to make a change. So he was like, oh, there was Shaq, Godfrey, and me. This producer loved Godfrey. So when the guy that hired me, the original showrunner, he got let go, and they brought in the producer that I didn't vibe with, he became the showrunner. So when I saw that, I went, oh, that's why I got fired. It was because he got the job where he got to hire people, and they brought in a new girl, Rachel Feinstein, and that was it. But I never called Shaq and blamed him and went off on Shaq and was like he was a hater. It was like, nah, it just is what it is. Yeah, nothing you can do about it. And I think that's what with Miss Pat and V103, I think she wants to blame somebody because it can't be her. But and Tiga's in a no-win situation because if the program director came to Tiga and was like, we're thinking about letting Miss Pat go, what do you think? Tiga might have been like, well, how's our ratings, or ratings aren't what they want to be, or there's like a bunch of stuff. But I don't think, and I could be wrong, I don't think Tiga went to the program director and was like, I want Miss Pat gone. We're killing it in the ratings. We've gone from 14 to 2, and I don't like this success. So I want her gone. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, again, this isn't a shot at Miss Pat. I just think that statement didn't make any sense. That you jumped up 12 spots, you're number 2 in the market, and they're going to make a change. That's the last thing they're doing when that happens. If you jumped up that much, they're not firing nobody. They're calling everybody in the room like, what we got to do? What do you need from Miss Pat? Tiga, Miss Pat, what do you need from Tiga? Because this is working. We got something going here, and we don't want to mess this up. So that didn't make any sense. If you know radio, that didn't make any sense. And that's the thing. Any job in this business, whether it's you're running a network, you're a morning show, it's a temporary job. You're not going to do it for your whole life. Those rare instances where you got Howard Stern or The Breakfast Club or things like that where you just become so ingrained in some people's lives and certain communities, like you're calling the shots. That's rare. That's an anomaly. Most of the time in radio, if I go back to a market, every 3-4 years it's a different morning show or a different afternoon show. Or sometimes, like Tiga got the V103, he was on the afternoon, he got moved to mornings. And it used to be Frank Ski and Wanda. And then we all know about Cat Williams went in on Wanda, and then she was let go after that. And everything else. So radio is one of them jobs. It's like you're eventually going to get fired. That's just a fact. Because that's the one thing. Every time I've been offered a radio job, they've offered me like a 1-year deal. And I've always said, no, I need like 2-3 years guaranteed money if you fire me or not, because I'm not about to pick up and move my whole life to this city and then you fire me a year later. And I've seen it happen numerous times. And I was like, that's really why I've never done radio is one, I wanted a certain salary that compensates me for taking me off the road. And I want to make sure I got a guarantee of like at least 2 years, at least 2. So if I pack up and move, I don't want to be like let go 6 months later, and then I'm like, I'm just stuck. Because I enjoy my life. I enjoy the city I live in. I enjoy my freedom right now. And I don't want to give that up. So I understand that when you get fired, it can be frustrating. You want to blame people, but sometimes you gotta kind of look at yourself and be like, what did I do? Did I have any accountability into this? Because that's just nature of the beast. That's the nature of this business in general. Come on now.